to go ahead and say welcome, as we will be getting started with the entire cup in just a moment. I will be joined by Scribe today, and hopefully he's here. How you doing today?
Not too bad, man. Another week of Overwatch, so I'm definitely excited to cast some more.
Yeah, no, it's been a crazy one too, because we Overwatch Open, of course, going on as well. There's so much stuff going on, and then this weekend, upcoming weekend, of course, is going to be the Atlantic Showdown. So lots of stuff going to be, I guess, bubbling up to a climax here. As of course, this beginning of September is the actual playoffs for or the LAN finals for E-League, if I'm not mistaken, as well.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited for her. I mean, next week with Gamescom going on, obviously the first big LAN for Overwatch, so we'll definitely get to see how everyone kind of stacks up. It's the first ever, NA versus EU on like equal ping, and definitely you try to take away all those factors, a lot of other, allegations against certain players while you're on LAN this week. So it might be a good time for a lot of people to prove themselves and a lot of people to kind of shed all the rumors.
I completely agree with that, and also at the same time, it's a really good spot also for those other teams to have the chance to prove themselves. I think I look specifically to Fnatic. I think they're a team that lately has been showing a lot of promise. More so, like, of course, you've always expected IDDQD to be one of those players that just absolutely tears apart rosters by himself. You expect the supporting cast there. Kusta, I always reference him as one of the strongest Zenyatas right now in the meta. I always see him in the kill feed lighting it up when he's playing Zenyatta. But at the same time, they haven't had any performances to get them anywhere higher than the top, what do you call it, the top 8 in the world right now. But they're sitting solidly in 8th overall in the world, and I think that a no lag environment could really benefit them. But that's not what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about some up-and-coming teams and talking about the Go4 Overwatch Cup. Of course, ESL is going to be the ones hosting it and running it, so thank you again to them. But we are going to be watching the side of Mada Mada take on Tryhards, and the winner of this goes on to play against Evox. And now Evox, yesterday I cast them in the King of the Watch, and they did pretty well against Pretz. And Pretz sitting right now in top I want to say their rating was like 24th overall in the world. They were doing very well for themselves.
Yeah, I mean, definitely it's going to be exciting to see Evox back here, because I mean, obviously being Pretz is a huge achievement, but also, Evox has been a team that I've been looking out for, obviously because of Michael, who was a former player for Overwatch Kings, and now has I guess gone on to create his own squad. Obviously, there's a lot of potential there, and who knows? I mean, there's definitely a lot of rumors of teams picking up, of organizations picking up new teams, so that could definitely be something to look at.
Yeah, the two big ones we can of course talk about throughout the day today. Of course, Immortals picking up We United, but they also picked up, and personally a little bit excited for them, Fact Fiction and Raucus, two North American players from Team Oh No. They also got signed onto that roster as part of the deal. So We United parting with two of their members, but picking up Oh No and Fact Fiction and Raucus from Oh No. And then of course there is the rumors that Dignitas is wanting to buy in, so we'll see what ends up happening there. We'll get into the introductions and, of course, continue that as we have Cytrol over here. Going to be playing the Lucio on the side of the defense. We're going to have Doombros over here on his Zenyatta, and Mill is going to be picking up his Winston. We have Humble over here on his Reinhardt. We have Agrippa. He's going to be picking up the Reaper. And then last but not least is going to be Marcellus over here on the McCree.
All right, on the other side, we have C. Barons on his Lucio, Official Aldiri on the McCree, Selbadib on Widowmaker, Zondek on Zenyatta, Drodo on Torbjorn, I guess now Winston, and Roughneck on Diva.
So we'll see what they end up doing here with their offense. Looking pretty standard, to be honest. Nothing too exciting. Lucio and Zenyatta, no single support, nothing, no triple tank of anything of that nature. They aren't even going to be running a Zarya, I guess. It just is going to be Winston Diva. So maybe that's something to point out here, is they are going to go for that aggressive initiation with both those tanks. Winston going to be jumping in, going to be zoning them back into that archway. Diva also going to be helping, and that's where McCree's going to try to go for that flashbang, but it looks like Humble's going to go ahead and take him out immediately. That's not a good start here for the offense. Meanwhile, Emil has got himself into a great flanking position. He's going to be on the Winston here, but Zeno, with great aim, able to take out that Winston while he was aggressing onto him, and it looks like it is going to be a defensive hold here as Marcellus is able to clean up Dorado after that. Agrippa and Doombro's going to answer as well.
Yeah, I was initially very skeptical about they were going to run the Winston in the big flank, but Turret peeled off. You know, they were able to kite back into the arch and basically force them to come into them. And then Winston gets in behind, and all of a sudden, you know, that fight's basically won.
Well, they're not even going to wait to go ahead and do it a second time. They're going to get on to the point. They've already got themselves a tick, and this is the benefit of playing so aggressively, where Marcellus takes out Official to start off this, and then it looks like Xeno's going to go down as well as a Mill goes into that Primal Rage. Now he's just going to be zoning back onto this Lucio. Got him back into the spawn. Is going to go ahead and stagger him there. Diva's going to get knocked out of her mech too, and they're not even going to go ahead and kill her. They're just going to go ahead and let her live, because of course now she needs to farm up her mech. And as long as they can prevent any of that damage from hitting heroes, it could be a while before she gets back into it.
Yeah, I mean, it just seems like none of their attacks are working. Maybe they should be looking towards getting to a Zarya, or maybe, exactly, like, maybe switch over to a Zarya. Diva can only offer so much for mitigating damage up front. If you want to protect your flankers, you want to insert more damage into the fight, maybe it's better to have, you know, someone who can be more consistent as a tank.
I could definitely get online with that, and also going to synergize up with that Winston more, bubbling him up. But Doombro's in the background getting a lot of damage done. Earthshatter ended up knocking down a few, but there's going to be defensive Transcendence going out, topping everyone off, and so far the offense hasn't had the opportunity to get as much value, and it looks like Agrippa and Marcellus are going to go ahead and get value out of their Transcendence. Getting 2 kills, a Mill as well, going to help clean up the low health targets, and Agrippa going to clean it up with a double kill to stop that, or to end that push, and oh man. This is a little bit awkward here.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that fight looked really solid from the offense right there.
Yeah.
They were able to mitigate a lot of the Reaper damage with, you know, with the Transcendence. But at the end of the day, you know, it's just so hard to get a lot of damage off when your McCree just can't get his high noon off.
And they're so close to doing what they need to do. There's going to be, I believe, a Deadeye going out, but they do too much damage. Humble going to be able to take out Drodo, similar onto Cytrol, so maybe this is what the offense needs, but right as I say that, they end up losing the Lucio, now the Zen as well, so both supports down, none of their sustain going to be there, but looks like it is going to be another cleanup. They will get a trade on the back of it, so we'll take a little while for Agrippa and a Mill to go ahead and get back here, so maybe this could be the beginning of the change, but what I wanted to say is they've already gotten a tick from all this, but they haven't been able to get that second one. It's been looking good, like you said, they've been aggressive, been able to get on the point, but they just haven't strung it together yet.
Man, let's see how it works. They're trying to engage right now. High Noon gets popped, and oh man, nice Earthshatter right there to take everything out. Wow, that's.
They're going to go ahead and clean it up off the back of that. I got to agree with you. That was a 3 or 4 man Earthshatter, and even so, they ended up hitting the targets that could interrupt the aggression coming off the back of it. If your Earthshatter, of course, hits those supports, that's always ideal to clean them up. But if you hit the McCree, and you hit the Winston, and you hit the Lucio, you take away all the targets that prevent that Earthshatter from doing anything, or the team from counter-engaging, a flashbang, speed boost, whatever it is.
Yeah, so this is their last chance to kind of go, and they do have Reaper on 83%, Lucio on 94%, so they have an opportunity to push in, but it's all about getting that last few ticks of the ultimate charge, and Winston goes in for the flank again.
And then there's going to be the Death Blossom. They're going to have to channel the Transcendence to deal with it, but that's going to leave Humble in a good spot to take out Drodo, so 1-for-1 trade. The defense going to go ahead and use their Transcendence now, and oh, they don't get a lot done with this Deadeye. It's going to be a hard time. There's going to be the Death Blossom going in as well, and it looks like this might be enough. Official, he's going to go ahead and get himself a 3K. And Marcellus, well, he tried to go ahead and get his own big Deadeye right there, but honestly, he was all alone. Not going to happen there, but that Deadeye from Official, way overdue, as they do finally take the point. But this is the situation that the side of Mada Mada is going to be telling themselves, guys, who cares? We got 4 minutes defense on the first point. Let's just get a solid hold on the streets phase. We'll buy ourselves an eternity on the offense, and that's the way they should be framing it.
Yeah, no, that Roughneck was a great Graviton search right to keep all of them from basically hiding into Hotel and preventing a clear line of sight right there. But right now they got to back up and start up again.
Yep. Now the defense, they did die in such a way that they've had some time to set up a little bit farther up than that far back. But oh, actually, that flank coming out from Sibler is going to be able to get on to that Zenyatta. There's the Earthshatter coming out from his teammate. Of course, that's I need to learn the names there, but that's Drodo getting a 2-man. It looks like that Winston's going to have to back off with the Discord Orb on him, and Reaper backing out as well. Drodo going to take out Marcellus with the Fire Strike on the way back out, and right now, this is the side of Tryhard's just pushing in on Mada Mada, and Mada Mada is not an unknown opponent per se. They have definitely played in quite a few events. They've even played in King of the Watch, and they've had their fair share on stream time. Right now, Tryhard's looking to give them a little bit of a run for their money.
Yeah, I feel like that flank just has stopped working once it's predictable and he keeps on going in. I just feel like it's not as good anymore. And obviously Agrippa gets taken up on top, which is definitely not good. Oh man, now he has ultimate coming down. Let's see if the Death Blossom gets pulled out.
They're going to go ahead and use Transcendence from here from the offense and push off the back of that. Nothing else really needed, just the threat that they couldn't get any of the kills, and I really like that play. Of course, you are in that threat of not being able to do any damage to them. You just have to back off, and if you do shoot at them, it just gets healed up. Offense going to go ahead and get 2 kills off that, pushing forward. And now behind the Reinhardt barrier, the offense has got themselves around the corner, and they're getting very close, Scribe, to going ahead and converting this payload.
How does Drodo get these kills on the double, oh my god.
Double Deadeye, and there's going to be the offense. This time, Official gets canceled out. Marcellus was right there, and Doom Bros, he's here to help out his team with this Transcendence. He's going to go ahead and top everyone off, and Emil going to finally be on his own Zarya here for the defense, so they have some bubbles, and this kill feed. That's exactly what they needed after so much bleeding, after so much time lost in a situation where they were doing so well. Ended up giving up an entire section of the map in pretty much a minute of time, but they will go ahead and stabilize here, and they have a Graviton Surge as well with the Grippa coming up on this Death Blossom, so defense has some tools to go ahead and buy a 1 fight or 2, but they have a while to go here.
Yeah, I'm just looking out for Drodo right now. Has the ultimate Earth Shatter, not to mention Roughneck also has Graviton Surge, and you know, Deadeye's coming back up for Official very soon, so it's all about the engage and see if they can counter-engage this one.
Oh, but this Death Blossom from Agrippa, I don't think they were ready for it. I was on the camera with the Zarya, and she didn't immediately react. Agrippa gets himself a triple kill. Marcellus gonna go ahead and clean up the trash. 2 more as he walks it outside, and that's gonna be 1 hero left remaining, Sibler. And it looks like Sibler isn't going to go ahead and die, so that's good for him. No stagger, but he is in a situation where he's a little bit low on health, and the health pack is, well, now he's going to have access to it, but still.
Yeah, let's see if they can have any high damage ultimates right now. You're going to have Zenyatta with Transcendence so very soon, and Deadeye going to be up in a little bit. Great Earth Shatter, right? Taking out Humble.
They broke the barrier very quickly. Yeah, exactly. They needed that, but there's going to be a Deadeye coming out from the defense. It doesn't look like it's enough. Marcellus is 1 man against an army. And he's going to end up having to back off at 10 HP. He's going to go down to Official, and that is going to be the payload converted. And that was a pretty quick offense coming out there. Oh,
man. After that first point, it looked so bad for the offense, but they were able to push through. And obviously, you know, despite what time it might be, if they can hold them off from taking the entire point, this could be really bad for Mada Mada.
Yeah, and honestly, even though, you know, when you start to look at the stopwatches, it has gotten to the point where I feel like, of course, offense should always be favored in this game, as there is an asymmetric bias towards the offense, because it is not a snapshot of your offense versus defense. It's the accumulation of both. So teams, as the game goes on, I feel like there will be less and less of those, oh wow, that's a 5 minute, 6 minutes. It's going to be more of those 7 minutes, 6 to 7 minutes, as teams like have to take a fight or two to actually break down each other, to trade the ultimates and get those kind of advantages and grind out the advantages. So what I get at here is that as we get to that point, teams are going to have to start looking at it, okay, if we can grind off 2 minutes point A, if we can grind off 2 minutes point B, and in the final phase we can go ahead and leave ourselves with only 3 minutes, that's not so bad. And that's kind of the framing that I feel like we're going to start to get, as teams aren't really going to be hoping for full holds on point A and, you know, the third point. And the Streets phase, honestly, on Kings Row is a point where we do see defenses get some work done on the time.
Yeah, it was kind of weird because they initially got very good positioning on kind of like the high ground. I just feel like, you know, having that Reaper Winston flank on the back line isn't great, because basically you're taking one of your DPS out of the defense, you're taking a huge tank out of the defense as well. And you have to remember that if the offense engages on you when you're not set and basically you're waiting for them to engage, if they take 1 fight and they take 2 fights and they all of a sudden are up 2 men, it's kind of very hard for that flank to come through and work. So hopefully, you know, we'll see some maybe more proactive defense from the side of Mada Mada.
I completely agree, and we'll see here as the offense is going to get underway. Time is up on the top left of your screen, guys. 7 minutes and 30 seconds approximately left here, as they are going to be getting into their offense. Similar strategy, double tank, no Zarya. They're not going to be running the triple tank, double support. And let's see what ends up happening here, as Emil's going to go ahead and push in. Get the zone back. Oh yeah, that could be bad there. We'll see. Though Sibler does get Discord orbed up, they do have the recognition of him now. Marcellus is going to get the first kill of the match, and this charge could be huge, but Drodo ends up taking out Humble Psych Troll right after that. Offense going to be down 2 members, and this is going to make it that much harder for the defense, or that much harder for the offense to actually get the conversion going on this first point. But the Dragon Blade from Agrippa, it ends up doing quite a bit, and although Sibler ends up taking him out, he's on low HP, and it could be just a matter of a shot or two here for Marcellus, or even that Bunny Blaster. Emil ends up taking him out. Down goes the Lucio, and 1 minute needed to take the first point here is Scribe, and if we just looked at averages, 3 minute advantage already going into the map here for the side of Mada Mada for their offense.
Yeah, it just felt for some reason they just did not react to Agrippa being in the back line enough. They just weren't able to kind of turn around and be able to focus him at all. So when he got his Dragon Blade up, it just turned out being like, you know, everyone's dead, all your tanks are gone, and now you have a few like backline threats and a few of your DPS, but that just wasn't enough.
I feel like that's kind of the war of the meta right now too. Is the meta is very stabilized into, of course, you run your Reinhardt, your Zarya, your two supports are very stable, and you will kind of flip between different packages of DPSs. But right now, it really feels like the flanker that does more is the team that ends up being in the better position. As we do have the sound barrier going out for the defense, they're gonna go ahead and initiate, but the offense, it's an Earthshatter. Humble staring down death. Ends up hitting 4 heroes without Agrippa. Gonna go ahead and finish up off of the back of that as he gets 4 kills total. I think it was definitely 3, but maybe 4 as he pushes it out. But yeah, I really feel like it's the story of the flanker right now in these metas. Although right there, that was just a story of Humble staring it down and hitting a massive Earthshatter.
Yeah, this was the part that kind of added, you know, insult to injury when Agrippa just goes and takes out the Reaper. It's just, oh man, his play is just, it's not super flashy, but he's doing all the right things at the right times.
It looks like the Reaper is going to go ahead and aggress onto Emil, though. Not going to be enough to get onto it. And like you said, Agrippa, we're following him right now. He's done a good job staying alive in the flank. They haven't quite dealt with him, and now he's chasing down on Lucio. Even though he hasn't gotten the kill yet, his team has successfully sectioned off the rest of the fight. Now fighting on to the Graviton Surge. Agrippa's going to barely survive. I'm not even sure how. He ended up like going under a Reinhardt swing there, and it looks like Marcellus will end up going down. So Sibler, a one-man army holding this payload for his team. Although I say holding it, it did go ahead and convert onto the point, so he needs to get out of here before the respawns punish him. And the stagger is too great for his team, as they need to set up a defense here. They have no ultimate Scribe. Offense is sitting very pretty on ultimates right now.
Yeah, and this is where it's going to be a really big gap because they don't have any defensive ultimates. Sure that their Deadeye might be up in a few seconds, but they have nothing to react to it.
That Deadeye from Marcellus already going to take out the Lucio, and that's not a good start. That Earthshatter, we caught it on screen. 5 man, that's going to be a cleanup official. He can try to do something. Make it. It was actually a 4-man. Sorry, official was doing that flanking, but at the same time, that 4-man Earthshatter from Humble, huge play from him, absolutely shredding any momentum, any opportunity the defense had to set up there. This is going to come down to this hold right here. If the defense doesn't get something done, they're gonna lose the match. And even if they do, they have a long way to go. 3 kills coming out as Suburban gets himself a bop off the cliff. Might be play of the game there as he ends up knocking off quite a few, and the defense has done it. Emil and Agrippa are going to be the only 2 members left. Agrippa, though, gets himself a double kill on the way out, so will buy their team a little bit of space as the defense won't be able to push up as aggressively. But Scribe, this is looking very awkward here for our friends of Team Tryhard.
No, definitely. I was actually going to do a slight nitpicky thing on the offense. When they try to, I guess, disengage the last fight, they pop both Transcendence and drop the beat. They only needed 1, I think, to really take this point, and that might have helped them make the final push, but obviously that's very nitpicky right now. Let's keep an eye on kind of how they look to engage. They need to build up their ultimates. We were in the same position as last time, where the defense now has the ultimate, and they're basically waiting for, you know, Zarya and Zenyatta to build everything up. And on the offense, you know, sure, Agrippa and Marcellus now have ultimates, but they got to find a way to use it in a way that's very productive. They can get a lot of kills off of it.
I agree with you. Graviton Surge, that's going to be huge, and that's exactly what they need productivity-wise. And the Deadeye, Marcellus gets 1 onto official. Drodo gets another, but Drodo with the double kill. Sibler comes in the flank and ends up taking out Emil, and it looks like this is going to be a trade going in the favor of the defense. I say that. There we go. Agrippa ends up going down. If he would have stayed alive, that could have been a problem. But Humble versus Sibler should be Humble taking it out, and I definitely have to agree with you there. The one thing, though, that is good for the offense, they can go ahead and take their time to build up that ultimates, and I like that you bring that up because they have a fair bit of time on the clock now, 2:42, so it's getting a little bit lower. They need to be thinking about it more cautiously, but they need to wear down the defense. They're down to back to 3 ultimates now, actually, so that whole point's null. Sibler going to actually maybe just take out Agrippa before the fight even begins, but Agrippa will dash away.
Yeah, I'm looking forward for some, you know, some Lucio engage right now on the defense, try to force out, you know, they have the defensive ultimates. I want to see if they can force them out, force the defense, force the offense to back up, and force them to regroup for a little more. But, you know, I'm fine with them playing equally as defensive. They just had a small window where I think they could actually have pushed them back, but we'll see how they react.
So far, not at all. That flashbang, that might be a bad situation here for the defense, as they're going to go ahead and eat it. Death Blossom as well. Sib going to be doing a fair bit with that, but the Transcendence canceling it out. He's still alive. Deadeye from Marcellus ends up taking out Rough. That is going to be the Zarya. Not sure where he was on charge. 40%, so close to that Graviton Surge, but there's the offensive Graviton Surge hitting onto 3 in the background, actually now onto 4. Charge out from Jodo will end up taking out a Mill, and with this, they might be able to stabilize again as the side of Mada Mada not able to convert yet. Agrippa running back to the fight, but he sees his fallen teammates falling before him as there's nothing he can do, watching his Zenyatta die, having to run away as Marcellus and both Psych Troll end up going down, and this is... I don't know exactly what's going wrong for Mada Mada. They just don't seem to be dealing with Sib. Is Sibler is maybe the issue?
I mean, what happened there was Agrippa just got caught out really early in that last fight, and maybe they were trying to build off Dragon Blade and maybe go in afterwards. But right now, you know, it's kind of in a bad situation where the defense has all the ults and all the counters in their favor, and the offense is going to hit them at the exact same timing. So it's kind of a little risky here. But if Drodo can catch someone out again like he did last time, maybe this is how they win.
Oh, but Agrippa, this Dragon Blade, that can make the huge difference. We've talked about it many of times. The ability for Dragonite to change the Dragon Blade to change the outcome of things, but there's going to be a great Earthshatter as well to combo off of with, but an even better Transcendence coming out from the defense as they're going to push forward and say, no, not today. We will not let you hold this. There's going to, or push this. There's going to be Doomsrow's Transcendence to try to turn things around as they have a few members left alive to fight this out. They have everyone. A few members going to be running back now as a barrier goes out right off the back of that. Xeno's going to go ahead and get a huge kill as Drodo uses his Earthshatter, getting, looks like 2-3 with that Death Blossom coming out from Sibler as he does get Flashbang though. Will end up still getting the 2 kills on the supports. Pushing forward, looking for the kill onto Humble. Takes it out now. Agrippa on this Tracer, needing to get a lot done. The timer on the clock, 14 seconds. I think Mada Mada might have ended up getting knocked out here. There's 10 seconds remaining. I don't know if they have it, even if they won the next fight, Scribe. There's just so much stall potential. And
oh man, this is the problem, dude. Drodo has just been so good, and we'll break down this fight hopefully at the end of this, but Drodo basically in that last fight separated the offense, the back line from coming anywhere close to helping out, you know, Agrippa in the back line, and that's just something that, you know, a tank, it's so mindful of the tank where you realize what they're doing. Great Graviton Surge, but at this point, man, it's already over.
yeah, no, they will go ahead and play it out, it looks like, and good power to them, but Agrippa going to go ahead and get some kills, and it looks like right off the back of it, unfortunately, the bell going to be the big enough motivator, but unfortunately, at the same time, it's after the bell. And so that motivation not going to be paying off here for Mada Mada as they will most likely convert here. And they will go ahead and finish up on the map. But it doesn't look like it is going to be in time for them to go ahead and actually take the map. It will be, like you said, the side of Tryhards going and moving on. And honestly, looking at the bracket, I would have never expected this. Oh, that Bob, that might even just change it, to be honest. Sabern with the double Bob. Now it's just Marcellus left on the point. Getting a little bit caught in the moment there. Expecting it just to get converted, but Lucio is one of those heroes when you're standing in an area where you can knock people off of cliffs. It can do a lot when the people aren't expecting it. There's going to be the Transcendence, but this, of course, is going to be very hard, even at this point, for the offense to go ahead and convert. They might be able to get into overtime here, but no, it is just going to be play of the game. But yeah, Scribe, if I was looking at the bracket, I would have put Mada Mada over Tryhards pretty convincing, or pretty confidently. And unfortunately, Mada Mada falling.
It's kind of weird to say this, but it's almost felt like they didn't really play around well with their basically their Genji, and it feels weird because basically what happened is Agrippa would get into the backline, but he was just so separated from the rest of his damage, rest of his support. Like that last fight, why I want to point out Drodo so much in changing that fight was that sure he got taken out at the very like kind of middle of the fight, but the problem is he separated, you know, the McCree, the Zenyatta from the rest of the team, and that's all you need to do. Sure, you can go down, but as long as you solo allow your backline to deal with, you know, Dragon Blade and basically make sure that Genji doesn't get any resets and is forced to rely on his long cooldowns to really do enough damage, that's enough. That's all you need to do in that fight. But Drodo, definitely my man of the match right there. Like it's crazy. Like, I don't understand he gets so many kills on Reinhardt. He's just able to, you know, fire off this, like, you know, his E or whatever to do and hit great Earth Shatters. Like, there's that one Earth Shatter, 3-4 man, and he just died immediately after, but it was able to buy his team enough time to basically, you know, hold off on the defense.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, and especially on the point about him getting a lot of kills. It kind of reminds me of Fact Fiction now going to be playing on Immortal, so again, that's crazy for him. Congratulations there, but at the same time, Skipjack, him and Skipjack, very aggressive Reinhardt players that you don't necessarily want to be, or you don't see them hunkering behind the barrier as a as a defense or as a nature, they actually prefer to be swinging with their hammer, getting very aggressive, getting in the face of the fight, and building up that Earthshatter very quickly. And that is one thing that's worth noting. Drodo had a lot of Earthshatters during those fights, and that is one benefit to playing an effective aggressive Reinhardt, is that a defensive Reinhardt, and again, not offense defense, but defense in the sense of just like actual nature of playing, is never going to build a ultimate as fastly. Now, less reliably so, or the offense is going to build offense. If playing Reinhardt is always going to build it less reliably so, but at the same time, if you can get that offense to work out for you, you can have a lot of Earthshatters for your team. And as we've learned over many years of gaming, crowd control makes a huge difference in any game.
Yeah, and I mean, Reinhardt's just transitioning into another one of those champions where, you know, I think that his people finally realizing how strong Earthshatter is in the current meta when you have to deal with things like, you know, big flankers like Genji and Tracer. What better way to, you know, crowd control them than to basically ult, you know, ult yourself almost and be able to catch them out in the AoE. And you'll see him a lot more on Koth maps as well. And maybe that's, you know, something we'll see this tournament, but there's a huge transition trying to transition out from Winston into Diva and Reinhardt on King of the Hill maps, just because, you know, having that AoE crowd control, whether it be, you know, Diva ultimate or, you know, Reinhardt ultimate, having those two factors and being able to control fights solely because of that is huge.
Yeah, no, I can definitely get on board with that. And I definitely think that at the end of the day, I think that a lot of this story goes down to what you had said at the end of that match. It felt like Mada Mada was playing very well, but at the end there, it just kind of felt like, as far as it went with the game plan of helping out Agrippa, or Agrippa being able to get the resources he needed to get the effectiveness out of that Dragon Blade that you expect, just wasn't there. And unfortunately, we are going to see Mada Mada go ahead and fall. And now we'll be going ahead and seeing Team Tryhard go ahead and take on Evox. Of course, guys, you are watching the Go4 ESL, or the ESL Go4 EU Overwatch Cup number 11. If you guys want more information, you can go ahead and type in ! Bracket in chat. Mobot will hook you up with the bracket, as well as ! Standings if you guys are interested in the August Cup, as well as the August Cup series. As will be the next 4 cups, being all points or less. This one and the next 2, so the next 3 total, are going to be awarded into the August. We already saw B-Fly last week go ahead and win the first of the August Cups, and then as well, you guys can see just the standings there with all of the teams that have accrued points throughout this month. But guys, that will do it up for us for right now. We will be getting into the next match as soon as possible. Again, it will be Tryhard versus Evox, as again, Mada Mada unfortunately fell a little bit short there. Again, I am RaptorZ, and I'm joined by Scribe. If you guys want to go ahead and follow us on Twitter, you can do so by following me at RaptorZOW or Scribe1 instead of an IOW. And of course, follow at ESL Overwatch for more information on tournaments for ESL, as they are hosting the Atlantic Showdown, as well as the Go4 series for North America, as well as the King of the Hill series that they're just starting now for North America. So lots of awesome stuff coming out from ESL. Definitely check them out. But Scribe, is there any closing thoughts you want to say before we send it over to the break?
Nah, I'm just excited to see more Overwatch today.
I definitely agree there. We'll see how Evox is doing, as of course they did recently take out Pretz in the King of the Watch. So let's see how they're playing today, guys. We'll get you into the lobby and get you into the action as soon as possible. For now, enjoy the music, and we'll be right back with the Overtalk, followed up by the Overwatch shortly after.